And hello to all my Capricorn friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free Psychic Tarot reading for November 2022. Now today they've dialed up for you guys a storyline spread. It's a great spread for general readings because it casts a very wide net across the entire sign of Capricorn. It's like a bunch of mini readings all in one. We're going to be telling a bunch of different stories for different Capricorns, experiencing different things. And the floor is wide open. They can talk about anything from love to health to finances to work stuff, all in these stories. Now, not all these stories are going to resonate with you, but there is going to be one at least that is like a home run for you. That is the goal of the storyline spread. I have had people say that sometimes multiple stories do and will resonate with them, and that's okay if it does. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's all about finding the one. They've also asked that I conclude your reading with an extra spread, so I need to tell you about it right now because it is a yes or a no spread. You need to start thinking about your yes or no question right now, and by the end of the reading, Spirit is going to answer your question in context, or at least try to. We have a lot of great Capricorns tuning in. It's very hard for them to do, but quantum allows this to happen because you're probably thinking right now, well, you recorded this before I asked my question. How is that possible that my question will get answered? Well, quantum is outside of time. Spirit is outside of time. So time is not a factor. So the fact that I recorded this before means nothing to Spirit. So all that is going to be organized in here. So start thinking about your question right now. That's the important part. We're also going to conclude your reading with the runestone, which will bring it all together. So Capricorn, we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to do. So we'll get started right now. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a bunch of time. I'm going to bring you in right now so you can watch. I like to share my table with you guys so you can see what's going on. We are live and recording. Now what I'm doing now here, Capricorn, these are my ritual cuts. Basically, I cut each deck into thirds, put them back together in a separate order, and that satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. It's the same procedure for personal private reading, so it's just like you're here with me now. Speaking of personal private readings, I do offer a wide variety of services and products on my website, scottsagent.com, if that is more for you. Now, the storyline spread here starts with 5 cards. I expand it out from there where I need to, but these are your main core cards is what I call them, your base 5. These are the most important for you to see. We are going to need more than that. This deck specifically that they wanted me to use for you is very known for creating very large storylines, and actually that is going to be our end right there. I will move it around to make sure it's all on camera. Well, you can see the main part right now. Here we got to get the pairings together to figure out where the stories go together, and this is heavily done by facings. So here we got, I could go either way, so could this. When it is this convoluted, I go by suit. So we're going to kind of separate it like this. And then here, that's going to all be one story. So we're looking at 3 different stories. The greatest part about storylines is they can talk about anything they want. It looks like that is what is going to occur here. Actually, let me move it like this so you can probably see it better like this. 1, 2, and 3. That's actually the order we're going to read it in too. This is a pip card. It's going to need another card. No matter what, that's a person card. Let's see if that's about a person. It is. And let's see what that person is doing because that doesn't really help us with much. Okay, talking about possibly another person, and yes. Okay, so we just got a bunch of people coming up there. They're just going to talk about people all day if I keep going there. All right, let's go over here. I'm just going to pull one card for both of these because those are both also pips. Down here, we have a person card. Is that about a person? No, it's not, but wonderful energy nonetheless. I think we're just about good. We need some angel oracle cards for every story. Check my inverts real quick. That is 2/3 blocked. We'll pull this right now to see if that breaks the barrier. It does not, so that's going to be good. I will move the camera around again, like I said. This one's going to definitely need a discard. Let me do the discard first. Okay, the discard is also inverted, so this needs to be completely upright. Order does need to stay the same. Very important in tarot. And then my oracle angel right there. Okay. And then down here, this guy's all ready with the oracle angel, and we are ready to go. Now it's just a matter of showing you on the screen. Let's get that together right now. Have everything how I like it. Okay, let's show you what we got here. So story number 1 turned out to be larger than expected. That's right here, ending with no place like home. Story 2 is going to go all the way on my right over here, ending with poised, starting at the 10 of cups, moving along that way. Down here at the bottom, this will be our 3rd and final story, kind of the elongated one, ending with a change in the wind. So let's get started, Capricorn. No time to waste. Lots to cover, lots to do. All right. Story number 1, guys. This is the one that came in with a couple people, and it I usually stop at that point because, they could have just gone forever with it for all I know. How many people are involved here? So we just stop there. We can't go on forever. What if you have a family of 8? That's what I always say to people. It doesn't mean I'm going to pull 8 people cards, but sometimes it pulls a lot. So here we go. Story number 1, the first thing they talk about is rest, relaxation, kind of that vacation vibe. It is very restful, relaxation, moving away from the busy here. If you're here in story 1 with me, Capricorn, this is a time to kind of kick up your feet. It's kind of that beach hammock vibe, drink in the hand, just that's why I say vacation. This can be a card about travel, but it's usually more just kind of vacation, even if it's a staycation, doing something that you enjoy at home. That's where we start with, and then we bring in 2 people. That's where they showed at least 2 people that are involved or that are doing this. So this is for my Capricorns that are not doing it alone. Capricorn's doing it with other people. We have an older person and a younger person. This could be a generation gap difference, so that's usually like a child and a parent. You could be either one, really, but it's more than likely that the other one is involved here. And we also have Pentacles, so they're letting me know that this is like blood related. This is like direct family. This is not like usually friends. Usually this is not like third cousins or something like that. This is like your immediate group, your immediate family. And I guess, friends can kind of fall in there sometimes, but they would have to be like your soulmate, best friend, just like that. Now, they do say no place like home, so that kind of reinforces my staycation a little bit here, or the fact that you guys are working on the home here in some form, maybe something that ties into the relaxation part at the beginning. So it's almost like, if you're putting the finishing touches on a spa or a pool, or working on redoing your living room so that you can put your feet up and relax on the nice recliner and have like movie theater seats and, just have a nice home environment. That's what they say, no place like home. So the focus is on the home. Of course, the context of this is going to be different for everybody. If this is even you at all in story 1, keep in mind we have 2 more stories to go. But here in story 1, that's why the context is huge, because it's not going to be the same details for everybody. But if this is about you, you should have enough clues, enough pieces of the puzzle there to kind of figure out where they're going with that for you. Also, money is involved with that too. So money is being spent here between the people on something for the home, or maybe it's a focus to stay more at home and relax more at home. So that is the vibe, is getting away from the busy, moving some money around, doing things together with a generation gap apart. Okay, so that's story number 1. Before I get into story 2, I want to tell you about the brand new products. Super excited to launch these. The first one is the most common thing that I get in my 30 and 60 minute readings for people, my private sessions. They almost always ask about a deceased loved one of theirs. If they have anything to say to them, or if they'd like to communicate a message, that way. This is called My Messages from Heaven. I've done a huge promo on this before, and now I'm finally letting it be available as a personal product. So if this is the only thing that you're looking to do, let's say you're looking to talk to your deceased father, for example, deceased grandmother, for example, and that's all you're looking to do. Let's say you don't want a whole reading. You just want to pick up the phone real quick and do a little dial-in. This is available now just to you as a personal product. It is filling into my bite size, so it's the smaller product. It's audio. You don't even have to be there for it if you don't want to. There is an option to get a live video conference if you'd prefer it that way, but you don't have to. It's available both ways. So that is super affordable and going to be super popular. The Messages from Heaven is huge. You can check out that promo too. I'm going to link that in the description, as well as in the YouTube description, and it's on the website, scottsagent.com, if you want to check out that. It's I wrote a very detailed message so you understand everything about what that spread's like, what it does and what it does not do. All very important stuff. The other new thing is brand new to the shop. These are t-shirts, sweatshirts, garments, men's, women's, variety of different colors, a couple wonderful t-shirt designs, Scott Sagent designs here for the channel, kind of putting some pictures up as I talk about it here that you can check out. We're releasing 2 of these designs now, and we're going to be releasing 2 more next month. So moving into Christmas here, you have a lot of options, a lot of great things to choose from, and a lot of great options in the shop still too. Remember, we just opened that a few months ago, and every single month I'm adding 1 new product to it. So we have the Scott Sagent Sage Soap, the Sanctuary Blend, the Cactus Blend, and we also have the Sunflower Potpourri and the Sunflower Spritzer. All wonderful products, all make great gifts as well. So let's move into your story number 2, guys. Story number 2, Capricorn. they talk about, this is Disneyland great energy to start with. Now in the deck that they wanted me to use for you, this is tuned down a little bit. So this is like wonderful, good family, joyous energy, but something's a little off here. It should feel better than it does. So what is going on? What's in the way? Why doesn't this feel better than what it is? They say that there is a decision to be made, kind of like you guys are stressing out about this a little bit. You're almost in your own head a little bit too much. Some of you here, if you're with me in story 2, are trying to figure out if you should go left or right or do this or not do this. Well, maybe that's why we're doing the yes or no spread too. Maybe we can help answer some of those questions right here, right now. But that's what Spirit wants you to avoid. They don't want you to get in your own head too much here. They want me to remind you that the suit of swords, which this is the 2 of swords flipped around, inverted. This suit means cerebral. It's the mental suit. So sometimes this is illusionary, imaginary stuff that you're worried about, guys, and they don't want you to put your energy in it. Like, for example, if you're worried about something for the future, that may or may not ever end up coming to fruition at all. So if that's the case, why put your energy into it today? Why stress yourself out and worry and get your nerves all racked up today for something that may never occur at all? Now, the next thing they show here is the 3 of Cups. So there is a social imbalance too here, if you're with me in story 2. So this is one extreme or the other. It's either like you're doing too much social, which would be like too much drinking, too much going out, too much spending, or it's the other definition of that, which is the polar opposite, which is like, hey, you need to get out more. You're doing too much at home. You're not getting to see your friends enough. You're not getting social interaction with other human beings enough. And as loving, creatures of God, that really drives us. So I understand that card a lot because I have a tendency, as much as the best of them, to really get into hermit mode. I can really kind of isolate and be by myself. But at the end of the day, we all need that social interaction. So you really don't want it to be too far either end. You don't want to be drinking yourself to sleep every night either. So you want to find that nice balance that's right in between here, and that's what that card means here in story 2. Poised. So a lot of you are working on yourself here too, or need to be. Okay, that is the advice if they're not describing what is going on. It is a little bit selfish energy, but it's good selfish. I always tell people, taking care of yourself is a great thing because then everybody else around you benefits from it. Especially if you're at the foundation level of your family, like, your kids depend on you, other people in your family depend on you. It's very important that your structure and stability is strong. Otherwise these people are going to lean on you and you're going to crumble. So that's why the selfish energy can actually be very good. So a lot of you are working on yourself in November. Great month to do that as well. We have a very family vibe coming in there on story number 2. Now, before I get into story 3, I do want to go over your moon cycles with you because I like to give you guys the moon cycle forecast every single month so you know what's coming. The first thing that comes in the month of November is actually the full moon that comes in November the 8th. And that is the best time to get anything out of your life. Get it out if you don't want it there. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a bad habit. It could be a person. It could be emotional baggage. It could be wrapping up an old project, selling something, just about anything really. If it's got to go, this is full moon stuff, guys. Do it early in November. It'll click. It'll just take off much easier than if you do it in other parts. Of course, you can make this stuff happen anytime, really, but it would take more willpower. It's like, walking uphill. You can do it. It's just harder to do it. It's easier if you just walk downhill when the hill goes that way. And that's what the moon cycles do. Now, adversely, we have the new moon. That's the best time to bring anything brand new into your life that was not there before. This is like bringing in new love, doing something new with work. You're trying to get a promotion, a new job. You're trying to do something new with finances and money, or even you're trying to do something new with your health corner. Maybe start a new diet, start a new exercise program. If you're bringing it in, it is new moon energy, guys, and I would much rather see you place it later in the month. It does not have to be right on the 23rd, which is the day before Thanksgiving. Let's say you're starting a new diet. You don't want to do that the day before Thanksgiving. You want to do it the day after, okay? So this is the window of opportunity. It doesn't have to be on the day. Just any time toward the end of the month is a really great time for it. Even if you're not ready on Black Friday to start the diet, let's say, you can wait a few more days. Give it the weekend, and then, hey, Monday, we're going to kick this off. So bringing anything new into your life, it doesn't matter what it is. Now, I've put together a moon cycle cheat sheet that describes the ebbs and the flows of this. It's on my website, and it is free. Always. It is on my videos page. You go to the bottom of my videos tab, you can see the moon cycle cheat sheet, and that shows you how this energy moves around. While you're at the website, make sure you're signed up for the newsletter program because my newsletter people just got hooked up hugely this month. Great free readings for my newsletter people, and I do that a couple times a year. And even when the months and weeks come that I'm not doing that, I'm always giving them promo codes. I only send one newsletter email a month just for updates and those promo codes, save you guys money on readings and just kind of filling you in on stuff. Always have new, fun, and exciting things going on, and that's why you should also follow the Facebook page. I do a giveaway on Facebook as well, so lots of free stuff, always new and exciting stuff on the Scott Sagent channel. Now let's get into your story 3, guys, because this is the big one. They start with, this is the card of sickness that they start with, but this may not be actual sickness like a cold or a flu or a virus. This could be actually like mind sickness, mental sickness, something really just how we kind of inferred that a little bit in story 2, but here this is more severe in story 3. This is more like, this just feels like a sword through the heart is what's pictured. And in fact, I'm going to actually show you this card just so you can get the energy of this, because in other decks, this is a less severe version of this, but this is how this feels. Even if it's not real, if this is something that, you just disconnect with, hey, I don't have this going on in my life at all, that's great. That just means you're in story 1 or 2. Or keep in mind that this reading is for the whole month. So if something like this happens, remember I said it, and come back and check out story 3 again. You'll pay more attention to it. But that's what they show first. So this is a card about sickness, or kind of the emotional sickness or mental health being a deal. And, that's just what it feels like. Now, let's get into where this goes, because they bring in action with work. So some of you are worried about work or have something going on with work that is very excruciating for you, hard to do. So they bring in work action. That is the advice. And even if this, whatever the sword piercing you, the sting to it, right? Whatever it is, even if it's like love corner stuff, they're saying here, go to work. Work is the way out. So for some people, it's like workaholic stuff. Hey, you just need to bang out work right now. You need to get your money at work, not worry about this. This is not a priority right now, or whatever this is that you're worrying about. And again, the swords is the future tense suit. A lot of times it's illusionary stuff. So be careful about it, because they say action in regards to the workplace. So that is the direction. If you're already doing that, that's great. They want you to keep taking this action here in story 3 in the month of November. And this turns out wonderfully, because we have the sun card. This is the sun coming out. This is the wonderful, pure innocence of a child. That is the energy, is that this is just perfect. This is wonderful, golden energy, radiating everywhere. You're seeing things very clearly. So when you take this work action, you get to a really good spot. And that's what Spirit wants you to do if you're here in story 3. That is for sure the direction. Now, there is another moving part here. We have the 6 of Cups inverted, which comes in. So this is like usually somebody that is very close to you, family-wise, like sibling. Could be mother, father, aunt, uncle, cousin, niece, nephew, that kind of thing. So this is very much that kind of, and it's coming in blocked. So when it comes in blocked, it means a couple different things. It can mean blocked because like it's delayed. So this could be like if your sister was going to come for Thanksgiving, but then she wasn't able to come, right? That would hold true to the cards here, because it's saying like sister, blocked, delay, not happening in November. Okay, maybe she's going to come see you for Christmas, something like that. So this is something with a sibling that it's just doesn't work out as planned, or maybe it's going to happen later or something like that. The last thing they show here is change in the wind. So this whole story is like a hurricane. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of wind gusts and water spouts popping off here, and tornadoes here, and wind damage here. So this whole thing is just like, a lot of things going on at once, a lot of chaos and turbulence. And usually chaos in tarot means changes. It means changes, and it means challenges. So this is, and I don't want to set you back and get you like perturbed by it, because we have the sun card there. So the sun card is trying to shine through this hurricane, okay? And of course it does that when it's the eye of the hurricane. But remember, when the eye passes through you, you still got the other part of the storm that's going to come through too. So it almost makes me feel like your November is going to come like that, where it's going to come at you fast at the very beginning, and then there's going to be a break, a little lull in the middle, like the eye of the hurricane. And then, it's going to pick up back and get a little, wilder again toward the end of November again. So this is just something that you're going to have to navigate through, because even when the hurricane comes through, it has a purpose. It's not just destruction. It knocks the old limbs off. It knocks the dead leaves off, and then the new growth can start. And in that same way, that's what happens in your life too. Sometimes the reset button is required for different parts of our life. And this change requires, it doesn't require you to do it, but it gives you the opportunity to do something different, to build it differently, work on other things in different ways that your higher self wants you to do, instead of, the ho-hum, what everybody else wants you to do, or the corporate world, or whatever it is that, applies to you directly here. So change in the wind can be a very good thing. It's just, you got to ride through it. You got to see through it to get through it, and so forth. So that is the entire reading there. Let's get into your runestone before we do your yes or no. Hope you thought of that, because that's coming up real quick. But first, runestone time. They're already shuffled up, but give them a quick swirl. And here we go. Runestone, Capricorn runestone is, you can see it right there. It's just one little line. It is stand still. I have some stand still here and here. So stand still, just one little line. So again, it reminds me of story 2 because we talked about poised and how they talked about kind of that selfish energy. And stand still is kind of not just working on yourself, but also taking a pause and letting things play out in front of you. Just like the hurricane that I told you about, story 3. You got to let that play out in front of you. It's not the time to go make changes, not the time to be driving to work in a hurricane, not the time to be going to the bank in a hurricane. So all this stuff you got to kind of, November is the month to kind of observe, be smart, watch things play out in front of you. Don't take any drastic action and wait for that sun because that sun is coming through. And then for standstill in story number 1, there is no better word to describe that vacation energy that I started with, that putting your feet up and that relaxation energy that they described as the advice or what is going on. Stand still, take a breath, relax, just kind of be in the moment and don't worry so much about future stuff. We talked about a lot of that too. So that is that part. Let's get into your yes or no, guys. I'm going to reshuffle real quick just to make sure I'm accurate. I used a little bit more cards than I preferred to run without it. So I'm going to cut away while I shuffle. I'll be right back. Okay, Capricorn, I am back with your yes or no. The reshuffle has been done, doing the ritual cut one more time, and we're ready to go. Cut them into thirds, back together in a separate order they go, and then we're ready to go. So here comes your yes or no. Hope you thought of that. Yes side over here, and no side over here. Got some pretty big themes here too. I'm going to need some extra cards. The no side's good. Good to be read. And over here, nope, I missed one there. Person, nope. Person, yes. Good. 2 here. Okay, we have a chatty side on the yes side. That's usually how these spreads go, actually. The yes side's usually a lot more moving parts. All right, so let's begin with the no side. I'm doing no first, guys. If you asked about 2 people that are not seeing eye to eye or reconnecting or getting back together, answer is more than likely no. It does not mean necessarily no, not ever, but it definitely means no, not right now. Okay, because we hear in this card that was pulled, we have a man and a woman kind of at back to back. So they're not looking at each other. It's kind of showing separation or, a fight or something like that. So that's coming up on the no side. Another thing coming up on the no side is just going through some weird stuff. If you asked either a weird question or, hey, is this, weird phase of my life, this crazy, chaotic phase of my life going to get squared up or something like that, this month or something like that, they would be saying no. There is something with work here that is saying inaction with work that is coming up. They want you to be flexible with this. They don't want you to be tied down specific to specific things like time, like worried about doing it right now or getting a new job, this week or getting a promotion by the end of, January, whatever it is for you. They don't want you worried about this kind of stuff. They're showing actually work in action with this. They show that this is completely like hung up, but it is starting to break. And it's going to break. More than likely a work message. If I'm looking ahead here, I don't really have all my work stuff mostly is coming up on the no side. I have another work message in just a minute, but if you ask something about work specifically, the answer is probably no or no, not right now. So be flexible here with that. The last thing they show here on the no side is really about if somebody asked about something like a brand new chapter in your life or even long distance travel. Long distance travel in here would be coming up as a no. If you asked, like if you live in California and you asked, oh, should I move to New York City? The answer would be no. Or again, no, not right now. Not ever. We're not asking spirit here in the concept of time, just kind of factoring out what is going on right now and what we should do about it. So that's what we show here. And also new chapter in your life. If you asked about should I start a new business? That would be like a new chapter in your life. Here they're saying no, not right now. It's not the time for brand new chapters in your life. Maybe you're already deep in one. You got to finish that one first. That's kind of the vibe. Let's get into the yes side, guys. Now on the yes side, like I said, chatter group, there is really in it to win it. So if you asked about staying in a relationship, it is coming in up as a yes, or like fighting to fix something, it's coming up as a yes. Very different from what I showed the people back to back. This is about sticking with it. The no side that they described was not people who were really sure if they wanted to stick with it or not. So if you want to stick with it here or stick with something that you've asked about, they're saying yes. And it's worth fighting for more than likely if you feel that strongly about it. Keep that in mind, especially if you ask that question. The other thing they show here is being tied down. We have the Devil card. If anybody asked about either marriage or being bonded to something or even maybe bad habits, if you're trying to break a bad habit, the answer is like, yes, it can be done. Maybe not right now. The Devil is not inverted. So the Devil's, I think it's more of like really a marriage and engagement thing, really, because they show, two people bonded together by handcuffs. And this is usually by choice in the Devil card here. So they do show that there is joy here and there's also heartbreak. So we have kind of a dichotomy of both sides coming in, but the answer is yes. If you're talking about being bound to somebody or bound to something, even if you asked about a job, let's say, well, that would be the only kind of work thing that I could say. Let me not give you a work example. Let me give you like a health example. Should I be bound down? Should I stay with the gym or the personal trainer that I got? Let's say you ask a question like that. Should I stay with my personal trainer for another year? Here, we're talking about two people bound together or two entities bound together, like that would be. And here they're saying, that's coming up on the yes side. So yeah, it would probably be better for you. Yeah, you got the happiness side of it. It works out good. You also got the painful side of it, which is maybe the cost, so there is good and bad to that. The other yes side, if you ask something about making something manifest or making something become real, you certainly can make it happen. They're letting me know here that this is more than likely a male who asked this question, or just a younger person in general. This is usually 25 to 35. It can, change your age range a little bit here, but they're definitely referring to a person here. So even if you asked about, are me and this person magical, they could be bringing up, especially if you're a woman, they could be saying that this man here is inverted, so which would tell me you haven't met him yet, or it's super delayed or something like that. The last thing they show here is the Death card. So there is some cleaning in the closet that has to happen first before you can actually pull in what you want to pull in. So keep that in mind, like what you're if you're looking for a yes and it's something that you have to like manifest to become real, there's some work that needs to be done first. It's like a prerequisite that has to, a closet cleaning before you can rebuild the closet and, put in shelves and reorganize things. You got to get the old junk out first. So that has to happen first, whether it's spiritual or literal. So that is the entire yes or no, guys. Keep in mind that isn't available as a personal mini product, audio product. You don't even have to be there for the reading. It's done using your birth date and your question. Very specific way to answer your yes or no in that setup. So that is the entire reading, guys. I know it's been a long one. Thank you for sticking with me. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future videos. And that's it for me. Have a great November and happy Thanksgiving.